We're at the Hinsdale Wave Research Laboratory, part of Oregon State's 420-acre campus. Nearly 24,000 students attend Oregon State University from all 50 states and more than 80 countries around the world. So glad you're with us on Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ken Ackerman. Well, 60 years ago, researchers concluded that Oregon was not an ideal place to grow grapes for winemaking. Boy, were they wrong. Please welcome our next guest, Shay, Director of Oregon Wine Research Institute. Thank you. Well, what did they do to conclude that Oregon, which is great for Pinot Noir grapes, what did they do that they got it all wrong?
Well, this is really interesting. Since I've been here in Corvallis, just about 8 or 9 months, we went over for a visit to the university library, and we pulled out some of the archives from the Ag Studies program and extension research, and there were a couple of people that did research back in the 30s and 40s looking at grape growing in Oregon, and basically they concluded that the vinifera grapes, which are the highest quality or the highest species grape for winemaking, was not a suitable grape to grow here in Oregon. What they did, and what they didn't realize, was that they tested they made their vineyards, they grew their vineyards down here on the flat in Corvallis, which has a richer soil and is much more prone to spring and fall frost damage. And so now when the founders of the modern Oregon wine industry came about 40 years ago, they realized that they needed to plant their vineyards on the slopes. And when you have your vineyard on the slope, you have a better aspect with the sun. The climate is different, but importantly too, the cold air drains off your vineyard when there's frost damage, so you have more frost-free days, a longer growing season when you plant on the hillsides.
The Pinot Noir grapes, which are famous in Oregon, so is it the soil, is it the weather, the climate here? What makes it such a great place?
It's everything. It's everything. We have a wonderful climate and long days. Because we're further north, we have a longer day photo period in Oregon than they enjoy in California. We have wonderful volcanic soils and other soil types that are really perfect for growing those grapes. And the cool, relatively cool days and cool evenings are absolutely great for growing the Pinot Noir, which does very, very well in a cool climate. It's a cool climate grape.
The Oregon Wine Research Institute is part of Oregon State University, but it's really a collaboration, isn't it?
Absolutely, and the motivation for the Wine Research Institute came from industry, and the leaders of our industry looked around at other wine regions and realized that every successful wine region had a flagship research institute associated, whether you look to Bordeaux or Burgundy or the California regions. And we had programs here in viticulture and enology out of the food science and horticulture departments, but not anything unified. So the Wine Research Institute, we're brand new, is an effort to coordinate those efforts, bring in a wine business research program, and really help provide some support to the researchers, help them be more successful in their grant applications, bring more money in for research.
Okay, I'm going to have to call a time out here because viticulture, enology, you mentioned both of those. What is enology, what is viticulture, and can you get a degree in it here?
All right. Viticulture is the study of grape growing.
Okay.
And enology is the study or science of winemaking. And at present at Oregon State University, you would specialize in those two areas. In the food science program, if you're interested in enology, and in the horticulture department, if your interest is viticulture.
Neil, the second we mentioned this is great Pinot Noir country, some folks get mad because that's not all that is grown here, right?
Oh, no, we grow wonderful grapes of all varieties here in Oregon, tremendous Rieslings. In southern Oregon and eastern Oregon, we grow wonderful warm weather grapes, warm climate, Spanish varieties, the Bordeaux varietals. They're really wonderful. They make wonderful wine.
I can't believe some people say, Mom, Dad, I'm off to OSU. I'm going to study alcohol. Winemaking, beer making, a way to go here, right?
It's a great career.
All right. Very good. Shay, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And thank you for joining us on Comcast Newsmakers. For the crew here, I'm Ken Ackerman. Make it a great day.